Well, next up on Encounter, it's our Survey Says segment. Each month we take a look at a current survey that you might find interesting. And we have for you another Pew Research Fact Take analysis this month. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the U.S. government granting American citizenship to the residents of Puerto Rico. The island became a U.S. territory in 1898 after Spain ceded control of it following the Spanish-American War. However, Puerto Ricans did not gain U.S. citizenship until Congress passed the Jones-Shafroth Act in 1917. Today, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory with its own constitution and government. Island residents elect their own governor and members to the island's legislature, but they may not vote in U.S. general elections for president, and they do not have a voting member of Congress. During this anniversary year, Pew Research Center provided some statistics on Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans living on the U.S. mainland, which it has gathered from previously published reports. The population of the island was 3.4 million in 2016, down from a peak of more than 3.8 million in 2004. The median age of Puerto Ricans on the island was 40 in 2015, compared with 46 for the island-born living on the mainland. By comparison, the median age was only 22 for Puerto Rican origin Hispanics born and living on the mainland. Nearly 6 in 10 Puerto Rican children on the island, or 58%, lived in poverty in 2015, as did 45% of island-born children living on the mainland. Only 30% of Puerto Rican children born on the mainland were in poverty. Puerto Ricans are overwhelmingly Christian. A majority of 56% of Puerto Ricans living on the island identified as Catholic in a 2014 Pew Research Center survey, and 33% identified as Protestants, among whom roughly half, or 48%, also identified as born-again Christians. Among island-born Puerto Ricans living on the mainland, about half, or 53%, identified as Catholic in a separate 2013 survey of U.S. Hispanics. 3 in 10 identified as Protestant, most of whom, 62%, say they are born-again or evangelical. About 42% of Puerto Ricans born on the mainland identify as Catholic, while 30% said they were Protestant. And among those mainland-born Protestants, 80% identified as born-again. In terms of social issues, the Pew Research Center found that 77% of Puerto Ricans on the island said that abortion should be illegal in all or most cases, compared with 50% of island-born Puerto Ricans living on the mainland and 42% of Puerto Ricans born and living on the mainland. When it comes to same-sex marriage, 55% of Puerto Ricans on the island said that same-sex couples should not be allowed to legally wed, while 40% of island-born Puerto Ricans living on the mainland and just 29% of Puerto Ricans born and living on the mainland said the same. Thanks again to our friends at the Pew Research Center for providing us with those interesting numbers on Puerto Rico and the Puerto Ricans living here on the United States mainland.